shots at groups.
Here we go.
And that is it. We are into draft for Game 3 of Day 3 of Play-Ins stage. Straight out the gates, Nidalee finds herself in the ban.
Yeah, I'm expecting a Lilia ban too, perhaps even an Ashe ban from the side of PSG. Lilia is one of the most strongest champs for Bugi, so they ban Nidalee, they ban Evelynn. Is it going to be a third jungle ban? Perhaps. And I'm expecting V3 to respond with maybe an Echo ban or a Graves ban, something to shut down Kongyue, because these have been the most successful champions.
What do you make of blue side Lilia bans? Because for the most part, I've seen it red side, but just infrequently every now and again, some teams are banning it blue.
Yeah, Kongyue hasn't shown us any Lilia yet, so if he does feel comfortable on the champ, I would expect it to be first picked. I expect it to be banned away and then V3 respond with something like an Echo or a set ban. Look for something like the Ashe first pick. So the set ban does come in, but they're the ones banning it themselves.
How much of a gamble is it if you do not ban Lilia now on V3 side to give that to Kongyue, seeing what impact Kongyue and Uniboy have had on this game?
It's an Ashe or a Lilia ban, I think. Or you can trade them both, right? It depends on which one you prioritize the most. So it could be a Lucian ban as well, so you could just go for the 1-1 trade.
There's so many picks.
But I'm just surprised that PSG ban away the set. That's something that they were playing, right? The set, the Echo, so it's a bit of a different storyline there, so we'll have to see. They do ban the Lilia, so I'm expecting something like the Ashe, the Lucian, these kind of champions coming out. Even Ornn has been such a prevalent champion. I think first picking Ornn is not a bad idea.
Okay, let's see what PSG decide to go with. Hanabi, of course, will be locking in the first champion for the squad. And with so many picks that are sort of high priority, it will indicate just a direction this team wants to go. Also remember that Unified is back in the roster, and very good call. Ornn is locked in.
Now Archer has been, for me, one of the best Ashes in playing so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the 1-2 Ashe. Renekton's still open. You don't have many AP junglers open. When you do play Renekton, you do want to play an AP jungler. You don't want to play something like Renekton Lee Sin. I think it just doesn't work together as well. So they could respond with top here. They could go for an early mid pick as well, something like a Mage or a Galio or something like this. So they are going to go for the Ashe. So I'm expecting something like a top pick here as well. Just counter the top, leave third pick for a counter pick when they do choose something on the 2-3.
What I like about this so far, though, is, Kedril, you've got your finger on the pulse of the world's meta. You talked about Ashe, you talked about Ornn, how they are very, very important, especially in the context of the bans. So there is the Ashe locked in. Now, Unified, as he's back with Kaiwing, I do want to ideate, what would you like to kind of see running into this Ashe? You know, what options are available?
Well, we've seen the Kalista from the side of Unified, but I don't think that's so good. So they do pick the Renekton into the Ornn. Pretty smart choice, I think, there. The Senna still open, the Jhin, so I would expect one of those to be picked away, because if they don't get picked now, I think it's going to be banned out unless he has something like the Ezreal up his sleeve, or even a Mage. Maybe he's been hiding a Mage from us, but I doubt it. So the Senna comes through, as to be expected. Now, Uniboy, he can pick up a mid laner here, or they can look for a jungler. I think picking support now is a bit risky, unless it's something like the Nautilus or the Thresh. I think it could get counters because they do have the 3 pick for the support on the side of V3, but an expected draft so far, I'd say.
Okay, not too surprising. You can see both Senna and Ornn, by the way, 100% win-loss throughout the course of play-ins. I know that Ornn, 4 games picked, 4 victories secured. There's only been 13 games played, and if this Kindred does get locked in, it will be the second time for today. It's one of those champions that does have a number of sort of counters into it. And we were talking backstage, especially with Amazing, around how you can shut that pick down.
Now, will he go Elise again? He has shown us an Elise game. They could go for the Renekton Elise. I think it is really strong. I mean, their only win is with the Elise, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. So that looks like they're hovering Galio. I mean, if they do pick Galio, I'm expecting mid-bans, and then look for a last pick support, 4-pick jungle. Something like this would be good. But the normal counters to Kindred, are the Kazakhs. AP junglers normally are kind of banned out, so you can't really go for those. So they are going to go for the Galio, so I'm expecting 2 mid-bans here against Uniboy.
Okay, 2 mid-bans, and then I'm just going to throw it out there. Galio could maybe go support.
He could.
I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it mid, but...
But Ace has been a really good Galio player. It's been one of his best champions so far in the PCS. So.
Yeah, exactly. Ace from the LJL, of course, from V3.
Yeah,
but I've got it in my head that because of how crazy some of these drafts have been, anything that could be flex, I'm keeping it in mind.
Fun fact, Ace was 5-0 on Galio in the LGL,
so he's going to be getting
it. By him. So yeah, the mid-bans come out. There's the Orianna. You could see something like a Syndra as well, just to make sure Galio has the best matchup possible. And the side of PSG, perhaps some jungle bans here to free up the Kindred.
Also, how safe are both of these drafts thus far? You've got some team fight, you've got some sort of long-range, non-committal engage in the Ashe or the Ornn ultimate. You can go team fight, there's also some pick. Like, they're looking well-rounded thus far. How do you want to see the teams sort of, closing out with Orion and Karthus finding themselves?
I think we're going to see a double team fight here, comp here. The Galio can play over sides, but if they were to put the Galio support and pick something, maybe like a Camille mid, you could play 1-3-1. I don't expect really anything like that, anything sort of pulled out like that. So I'm definitely expecting teamfight comps here. Nautilus, Leona, melee supports, perhaps a Rakan or a Thresh for the side of PSG. The Bard ban does come out, so I'm expecting... Is that going to be a Brown pick? Because they have got the Ornn. They could look for the Ashe Brown comp.
I love the Kaiwing Bard ban. I'm seeing the impact that he's had thus far. And like you said, I mean, Braum into that bottom lane, very good. Into the Ornn, help a lot. Karthik was the other option. And we need to see what Archer will be running in the jungle coming up. Correction, Bugi will be running in the jungle there up against Kongyue.
So they do ban away the Elise, which I expect to be pick on 3. Renekton Elise is not very good in this meta, but a couple of years ago it was a very strong dive comp. Last year
I remember
especially.
well.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, Elise Renekton is as old as time. And if the Leona gets locked in, it won't be quite as sort of defensive as the Braum, obviously. But that support counter pick.
Is that Sylas top? Or is that Sylas jungle?
Sylas mid, Galio support.
It could be Sylas jungle as well. I mean, there's almost 5, there's sort of like 5 AP junglers banned out here.
Do you like Sylas jungle on this patch?
No, it's horrible. You can't clear your camps. It's horrible, especially into Kindred. So I'm expecting that to be a Sylas top. Keep the Galio flex alive, so they are going to go for the Rakan, as expected. Really good engage. Not a bad lane phase, so...
If that's Sylas top, Renekton mid, Galio support, but like this is the problem I have with V3's comp. There's too many options. The professional response, ladies and gentlemen, from Kindred is bruh.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see. They have 2 flexes here. I mean, Renekton mid could happen. It depends on what PSG pick. If they pick up something like the Syndra, which I expect to be banned away alongside the Orianna, then I doubt the Renekton's going mid. I'm expecting Galio to go mid here now, and then the Sylas going top into Ornn. They're going to last pick jungle, but what? No, it's going to be Sylas jungle, please.
Okay, so tell me why you don't like Sylas jungle. You talked a little bit about how he can't clear effectively, and we will get a few seconds to find this out in a moment.
I think it's Sylas jungle. The problem with Sylas jungle is you need a heavy leash. If you get invaded level 1, you are... Yeah, you're going to be really far behind. I mean, Sylas jungle really spikes on his Runic Echo spike. I think when he has that item, he is a good jungler. When he has the Runic Echoes, he's really strong.
Okay.
But we are looking at a Sylas jungle here. The only problem with Sylas is the early clear is not very good. Neutral objectives are very hard. And it is a Sylas jungle.
All right.
Damn, I'm excited, honestly. I love Sylas jungle. Last year, I loved it. I always liked to 1-2 it when it was strong, but nowadays, the clear is very, very poor. So, I mean, it gives a lot for PSG to play with. They have so much early game pressure now, just based on the fact that the Sylas' clear is not going to be as fast as Kindred.
Put this then into perspective. Of course, you've got the wave clear from the Galio. You've got the lane pressure of the Renekton that's going up against the Syndra and the Ornn. So if Bugi on the sides needs to be protected early, it feels like the V3 comp has that capability if they execute well.
Yeah, I mean, they have the Ashe for engage. They're going to have the Ornn ult from the side of Sylas as well. I don't think there's any other hugely good ults apart from perhaps the Kindred or the Senna. The Rakan ult can help if you do get stuck in there, but the Ornn is basically what the Sylas is targeted at. I think it helps with the engage, it helps with the Ashe. They have the Galio ult for the Renekton over side lane, so I think regardless of the side lane push, this is going to be a teamfight comp. I'm expecting Ashe or Leona ults to come out, just instantly engage onto their front line, and wow.
You would call that a meatball comp, as it were. Like, everybody, with the exception of Ashe, wants to be running into the faces of PSG from V3. Now, let's turn our attention to V3. They've got that Syndra in the mid lane. They've got the Ornn, the Kindred, the Senna. There is some time that needs to come in, maybe for every lane, maybe accept that Syndra, you know, get some items up, farm up some stacks on the Senna. How do you expect PSG to play the game out, and what are their win conditions?
Well, they have got good early mid push into the Galio. They have a winning jungle matchup early as well. The bot push is contested, I'd say, but they have Ornn into Renekton, so you can either have 2 choices here. You play through mid, so the Syndra Kindred shut down the Galio as much as possible, because I think their 2v2 mid jungle is definitely favored for the side of PSG. And you can use that pressure to sides. Do you want to go use your mid jungle prio at the top to defend the Ornn to make sure you can get the push? Or do you want to use it to bot to maybe look for some threat and some dives, make the Ashe do some CS? So PSG have a lot to play with, whereas the side of V3, I think your mid lane might be getting pushed in. You have to play for the Renekton early to get him ahead so that the mid game fights he can pop off. But if you have a losing mid jungle matchup, it's going to be a bit difficult. So they have to pull something out, I think.
Well, let's see execution. What I really like is you've got slightly different focuses on both sides of the rift.
What I would love to see is Raina on the Leona just like push out 3-wave spot and then just base and run top or something. Just something crazy like this is what they need to do, I think, to unlock the game through top. Otherwise, stall games out, drop a couple neutral objectives, get Sylas to 6, take the Ornn and look for some Herald fights, perhaps. Oh, man.
Okay, let's see what happens in terms of the opening minutes of gameplay. Just a reminder, if you want that 5-game 5-team tie and 4 tiebreaker games, you are a fan of V3 right now. And if you want to see PSG one step closer to the group stage, a PSG win will guarantee them at a minimum a tiebreaker game for first.
Now, Trevor, I've done some research here, and Bugi has played 1 game of Sylas jungle.
How did it go?
he had a KD of 24 and he won. So
that's pretty exceptional.
I can see the reasoning behind it. There was 5 AP jungle bans. You know, you had like Lilia, Nidalee, Elise, Karthus. All these champs were banned out, so he went for the Sylas. It is an AP jungle. You do need an AP jungle with Renekton. I think that's rule number 1 of Renekton. You're breaking the law if you pick Renekton Lee Sin. We saw it earlier today. I didn't like it at all. So the AP jungle does come out eventually. It was kind of the last one he had, apart from something like a Gragas perhaps. But if it's his comfort, respect. He can straight go for it. And
I also think when you look at the options for ultimates that he can hijack, you know, Ornn ultimate, Kindred ultimate, Syndra, I mean, even Rakan, you could argue that the Dawning Shadow is maybe the least exciting, but even that, in the context of a team fight comp, where if you have the rest of your squad going forward, there are a lot of tools that he can play with if he can get that hijack in the right place at the right time.
And the Senna ult helps for sides, right? You have the Galio, Renekton goes all in, the Galio ult comes out. Sylas is just doing Herald or something, just pops his Senna ult across the map. So I'm excited to see how he uses it. I mean, I will give some warnings here. Sylas jungle clear is, I think it is one of the slowest junglers in the meta to actually clear camps. He gets very, very low. Sometimes you need he's definitely going to need a big leash. So they're going to know where he starts as well. So let's see how Kongyue plays around it.
So once we get into the game, let's focus very heavily on this matchup in the jungle. Kindred versus the Sylas. Let's take a look at what Kongyue on that Kindred can do, because it has been him and, in my eyes, Uniboy, who have had such a heavy hand in the victories that PSG have been able to string together. But their composition with that Kindred jungle, Syndra mid, that can be what can be pushing into the Galio early, get pushed into the jungle if they can get past that Windsor.
Yeah, they need to play with each other like properly here. They've got the Syndra, they've got the Kindred. They have been on AHQ together, so they are very strong mid jungle. They've been together for a while, so what they need to do, what I want to see, is maybe gank mid early, try and get Ace's flash, push him in as far as possible, and then go into the jungle, try to find Bugi, shut him down. Use the Syndra as well. It's sort of like your tool to shut him down as well, and then just keep giving each other favors, right? Kindred ganks mid, Syndra goes and helps you shut down Bugi. So we'll have to see how they play it, but that's exactly what they need to do.
Well, thank you so much for waiting with us, and apologies about that delay earlier before picks and bans. We are finally onto the Rift for PSG Talon taking on V3 Esports. I'm going to quickly look down the summoner spells, and I can see 2 teleports apiece. Not seeing anything too crazy.
Predator Galio
thus far, and that is what caught my eye. Predator Galio, what does it tell you about his expectations?
Oh, he wants to drop waves and run sides. I think you're expecting, I mean, you could expect Ace to drop a mid wave or 2, just make sure when he got his boots early, just run top, run bot, look for these dives. So he will have push in top. I expect them to have push in bot as well with this Ashe Leona. So their mid lane's definitely where PSG needs to play through. I think it's their only real reliable way, source of sort of prio. So Ace, if he can free himself up, maybe look for a TP bot, level 6 ult bot, or just try to get an early roam, then he can definitely... The way Ace wants to play it basically is make sure one of his sides is winning so hard enough, perhaps even V3 gets early first blood, then Raina can move to mid on cooldown basically, so Kaiwing stuck on his tower, so then Ace can push the wave. So it's all like a buddy system essentially. So V3, they need to play to help Ace this game, I'd say.
You make it sound so easy. Well, but that does come down to the execution, and you did mention the very heavy leash. So if you see Bugi on the map, he currently has some support from Paz, the Renekton, in that northern quadrant. It does look like it's matched by Kongyue and Hanabi. They're starting blue buff, and it does look like Bugi's going to get that very heavy leash.
Yeah, he needs a very, very heavy leash in this jungle. Sylas clear, not the best. So normally what Sylas do is they go red Golems Raptors or red Raptors into bot side to get that early level 3. So I'm expecting Bugi to just kind of clear his camps as much as possible early here, try to take as little damage as possible as well, so he can sustain as much as he can, but I'm expecting early base from Bugi, buy the machete, and then carry on. As we see Ace's runes there, the Predator.
Exactly. I love the fact that the production team are showing us the runes. And now we need to judge how effective it works out, right? Keep an eye on when he pops that Predator eventually, what impact it does have. And if he can get either Paz or Archer so far ahead that they can then start to unlock the rest. Because one of the things you did mention was Raina, push the waves out, early back, and then just go gank a lane with that Zenith Blade.
That's what I'd love to see, the LPL special, you know, have a level 1 fight around mid, why not? So, yeah, V3 having the bot push, I think they have the top push too. And Bugi, he does go Red Raptors Wolf, so he won't get level 3 from this camp, so he does need to do 1 more. So Kongyue could punish that, but Archer will spot him out.
When will be the first time that you expect Kongyue and Bugi to maybe interact with one another?
Well, Kongyue could run into his jungle now, but the problem is Ace actually did get the mid push. He is looking for a mid gank. This is exactly what I wanted to see. So he is looking in. They have no vision, but Ace looks kind of safe.
Justice Punch backwards. We'll get a couple of autos here from Kongyue. The Dance of Arrows as well. That's another one. Manages to chuck out Wolf, and Ace escapes. No flash blown.
Playing through mid, exactly what I like to see. He didn't go for the invade on Bugi because of the bot push. Raina can instantly move, and a level 2 Leona is quite deadly. So Bugi is looking here. He's pinging on the way. Maybe Raina moves up. He can fight him here.
All right, Bugi's going to get some damage down using those chains. Drops Kongyue to 300 HP, but backs away. Uniboy had the first move, so there was no support coming from the mid lane for V3.
V3's bot lane's moving though, and this is the stack for the side of Kongyue. So Raina, that's the bot push coming out here. They're going to have first power on this crab, and Uniboy needs to push in mid. Ace can always respond in base and TP if there is a fight, so good play from the side of V3, using that bot push into mid to make sure they secure the early crab. And now Bugi, does he want to go through mid and take the other crab as well? He could do that, or he can move into the bot side and look for like a 4-man dive if Ace wants to TP down.
Let's take a look at the time being. Bugi's going to make his way over the wall, jumping in towards the Krugs. Kongyue is going to use that dance of arrows. This is now going to turn into an exchange. Smite has already been chucked out. Bugi starts to back away. Double buffs for Bugi. He's going to flash defensively, and he gets pushed out of the jungle.
I think Bugi's thought process was Kongyue losing the crab. He expected him to go towards the topside crab. You can see he's pinging it now. So he thought Kongyue went topside to get the opposite crab. But so he thought he could take his golems, maybe look for a 4-man bot play. But now the double TPs from the side of the mid laners coming in here. They're going to push the mid wave in.
Damage. Very good push back there from Uniboy, sort of expecting it or aware of it. So Ace cannot connect with the taunt, and Uniboy backs out without taking any damage.
Good response from Bugi here. Instantly reacts from Kongyue being bot side. Goes for the top crab. Ace TPs in to help him out. So this will be Kindred's other stack. You see, if one crab dies and it's Kindred's stack and the other one lives, then the stack will eventually go to the other crab if it stays alive. So Kongyue losing another stack here, and Bugi's doing pretty well overall. Kongyue hasn't been able to punish him because of the pushing lanes and bot, and Bugi is going to get his jungle item for free here. He's not going to get punished.
Okay, so you're getting a little bit more excited about the Syndra, the Sylas rather, from the jungle. I mean, was that early game or was the early clear that you were nervous about? There is still a flash here for Ace. Yep. No support from Bugi. Managed to get the Justice Punch off once again. Flash blown. That's the chase forward and taken down. First blood PSG.
Good play from the side of Kongyue. He's identified how to unlock this game. Both sides are pushing in, go through mid, try to get the mid push. Ace didn't have to flash earlier. He had to flash now, and he died. He doesn't have TP either, so he's going to lose a huge wave. So PSG needs to use this mid jungle prior to sides, try and get the push there, and then look for these early objectives.
And this is exactly what you were setting up during the draft, K-Drill. Kongyue and Uniboy combo together, the Kindred Syndra, punish the Galio.
Paz TP'd in.
Now Paz TP'd into the mid lane.
There's
no flash for Kongyue. He's going to try to get run down. Ruthless Predator will connect with a stun. Bugi needs to find the chains, will not be able to do so. And Kongyue is able to escape. Paz may have lost a few CS there in that top lane, as it looked like the wave was crashing into his tower.
Yeah, he lost the wave there. He thought he could catch Kongyue, no flash, greeting for those Raptors, but now PSG is in such a good spot. They've got a 1,000 gold lead. They got the first blood on the side of Kongyue. I'm not sure if that was his stack or not, but Hanabi has TP advantage now, so Hanabi can look for these early TPs bot. If V3 push too far into bot side, like they have been doing for the first couple levels, if PSG can get a ward behind them and a TP comes in, I'm expecting there to be a couple kills down there, so V3 needs to be very aware of the TP advantage, and Paz needs to keep the push up. Maybe he can cancel him here and there. Okay,
let's keep an eye then on how this plays out. Ace, as you mentioned, is now back in that mid lane, moved his way down, pushed a couple of wards, very deep vision here for V3. There's that control ward just outside the red pit of PSG's southern jungle, and immediately Bugi's making his way back, and here's this replay of that mid lane gang.
Yeah, you can see Kongyue dashes forward, gets the E on him, so he's slowed, and then flashes forward. Kindred damage in the early game is really, really high, and it's good that they both committed their flash there to make sure they got the first blood. So now, how can they use that? Kongyue's got double longsword. Bugi still hasn't base, so his tempo meter is kind of in the pavement here. I think Kongyue is going to give over the blue buff, make sure he can keep up the mid push. So can they look for these early dragons? They have TP advantage. That's definitely something they can look for. Or do they want to look for an early swap and try and get the herald? So Kongyue is looking topside now.
There may not be the most optimistic flash and Dominus for Paz's Renekton. Not exactly the most diveable of champions.
Is he looking for an invade here?
Although, to be fair, with a Hanabi with access to that Call the Forward card.
Bugi expects this.
Level 5 be level 5. Bugi's going to step forward. Wolf is once again fired out as Kongyue starting off the Brambleback. Look at the minimap. Both top laners going to be fighting inside the Tribush. Bugi level 5 against Kongyue's level 5. Hanabi takes a lot of damage from Paz's Renekton, and the Blast Cone over the wall pushes Bugi to safety. That's a reset on the Brambleback. Look at the minimap. Again, PSG, the ones pushing forward because of the Syndra early power.
Yeah, I don't think they can win this 3v3 early. I think Bugi's not that strong. I mean, the double longsword on Kongyue means his damage is so high, and Syndra pulling over the red buff for Kongyue here. He's going to get the next crab as well, so he's going to deny the stack. He's going to get the stack, sorry, the stack just spawned, so Kongyue is picking up a stack here, so he's in a good spot. So now, Drake's still up, Herald's coming up now as well. There's only a TP for the side of PSG, so how do they want to play the map? V3, they have huge bot push. Do they want to use it? Do they want to look for an early Drake, trade it for the Herald? Do they want to push in his bot wave base and go towards top side, be first on the objective? But PSG still playing through mid here, I like it. And
Ace currently has no flash available. Does have that ultimate, and Bugi was relatively nearby. But 500 gold difference, that's that big advantage that PSG picked up thanks to the first blood. has not ballooned just yet, but take a look at the mid lane. Uniboy's up 20 CS over Ace's Galio. Repeated ganks, repeated pressure from Kongyue, invades from Uniboy into the jungle of V3. This is how PSG have won their games previously. That duo, mid duo, moving the pressure elsewhere. And if you look at the minimap again, by the way, Ace just about to get solo. Uniboy dunks Ace.
Man, that's gonna hurt. Whew. No flash, he gets stunned up, and the Scout of the Week comes out and he just gets popped. So Uniboy is playing so well around this. Do they want to use this mid push into Drake now? I think they have a really good window for it. They have TP as well, so V3 basing here. I think Arch is gonna have to go back and catch the wave. I don't think he can go towards Herald just yet. And I like the vision control from PSG. They've got really good peek setup.
Beautiful, beautiful play here from PSG. The solo kill onto Galio, no less. Merc trades were just picked up, and we're actually getting a picture-in-picture replay. I mean, this is just like get hit by skill shots, die.
He's playing dodgeball with him under the tower. He hit 2, then he goes for the third one, I believe, gets the stun as well, and just pops his full combo on him. And Ace not respecting the damage dealt there. He does use the W to try and reduce the damage coming in, but well played from Uniboy. He's using the matchup really well. He got the punish from the side of Kongyue as well, and he's playing it so well, but they're looking at a top dive here. Ace has ult, so it's going to be a 3v1. There's no TPs on Uniboy.
Hero's entrance, hijack as well. Boogie's going to look for the hijack. Call the forge guard is available. We might see double. As there comes the Hero's entrance. That's a great knockup from Hanabi.
Bugi has tower aggro.
Boogie's going to go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and it should not have gone down that way.
Oh, it's a horror 1-for-1 against the Ornn. No, it's a disaster. I mean, Ace does pick up the kill, so it's going to help him out in the lane phase, but he's going to lose mid waves, and the fact that V3 used all their tempo topside means that they're going to lose Herald as well. Mid's pushed in. Kaiwing's coming up, so they've lost Drake, they've lost Herald, they went 1-for-1 against an Ornn, so that's not what you want, and Bugi still hasn't picked up his runic echoes, and they're losing plates in mid as well.
This is terrifying. Nearly 10 minutes into the game, nearly 1,000 gold advantage. There is still the Rift Herald that can push even faster, will help with even more plates, that'll give you even more gold on the side of PSG. But we did say that both of these comps were kind of looking to do some team fights, and like, wow. Kongyue and Uniboy really just want to take over this game. Rift Herald summoned. That'll get at least a plate and a half.
You didn't see that there. All ultimates were used in bot side there. PSG and V3, all of the ultimates were blown. No combat summoners apart from Raina's flash. So there was a fight down there. It looked like PSG was favored, but PSG pick up this mid tower. It's going to crash on the second one as well. So Uniboy is unleashed. Oh, he just got it on the auto. Did you see that?
Very good, very good. Preventing that damage onto that inner turret. But Ace is down 25 CS, lost his mid tower already. That Predator Galio unlock to play around side lanes, that gameplay now changes drastically because you don't have control of the mid lane.
And it goes back to the draft, right? They third picked the Galio, they banned the Ornn. We discussed the Syndra ban as well, but they decided to go for the Bard, but it's kind of biting them in the butt now, right? The Syndra's taking over, he's got mid tower, he's a kill up, 20 CS like you said, so Uniboy picked up the Luna's Echo now, so he can just push in the waves and moves to sides wherever he wants, so where's going to be the next objective for PSG? Is it going to be bot side, is it going to be top side? I mean, playing into bot side is pretty good, you have the Rakan ult. Kongyue and the Uniboy can always move first, but Ace has TP, Paz has TP coming up as well, so it is a bit risky.
Put your head, into the minds of V3. This is potentially their last game at the World Championship, potentially. If they lose this game, they are going to be looking at LGD and UOL to try and help them out. If they lose this game, and then LGD lose their game, it will end up being a tiebreaker for elimination. We could be in a V3 versus LGD tiebreaker for 4th and 5th.
That's scary.
That is one of the possibilities. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But V3, they still have themselves like a shot. Yes, it's a 2,000 gold deficit, and yes, they are clearly behind the game this time around. But you can't deny the engaged power of Ashe, Leona, Galio, with Sylas as well. So there is 1 or 2 fights potentially where they can look for some opportunities, but they cannot make any more mistakes.
Yeah, they can definitely pull the trigger here. We can see Kongyue has decided to go towards the top side. Kaiwing does have a lot of move potential, so there is going to be a 3-man stack on top. Bugi gets engaged on. He does have the flash.
So much damage. Mounting Dread, Wolf Frenzy,
the flash.
As well as another solo kill. That's actually going to help out. I think Bugi managed to hijack the Kindred ultimate, gets 1 heal, gets
Paz
a second
flash.
heal, right back into the fight. Here comes Paz, Slice, Dice, dominating Slice, and that's so much damage onto Hanabi. All of a sudden, 2 quick kills, and remember, Kongyue chased that. Kongyue pushed into Bugi, and he hijacked the Lamb's Respite.
Kongyue had so much damage on the side of Bugi, but I guess he didn't consider the fact that he could just take his ult and ult himself and just keep himself alive, and then Kongyue was way too far forwards. Paz came in with the TP and he was around the side and just managed to pick up the kill. So that's a double kill for the Renekton, and he's going to get loads of plates. So a win condition achieved for the side of V3. Play to the Renekton. They have some kind of win condition now.
Unbelievable. Kongyue, it looked so good. I think for half a second, I expected Paz to just go down after the Dance of Arrows, but he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they have really good mid push here. You can see them moving together. Kongyue waits for Uniboy. He steps forward. He just about sees Bugi and then lands the E, lands the red smite. He has got Warrior in this engage, so he has so much damage. And then you can see Paz's TP on the minimap on that pink on the red buff. Bugi takes the Kindred ult, pops it himself. Kongyue has helped himself. Looks like a pair of eyes. And then Paz comes in from the side, takes out Kongyue, and then Hanabi is stuck on his own. It's a kind of like a 1v3. Ace around the side with the TP as well. He's looking to get into the fight, so double kill for the side of Paz, but double TP used. So that means PSG's bot lane could get something out of that.
All right, 3 assists for Bugi, 2 kills for Paz. He's already got the Blade of the Rune King completed. He's got a marginal CS advantage, but Ace on that Galio is currently sitting 30 CS down. Ace is still dead. I didn't see how he died during the course of that replay. I assume we may get an action clip.
Looks like Uniboy picked him up somewhere.
Or maybe our observers can just give us a brief update on how Ace died, and this is now the second dragon. PSG already in position, but it does look like V3 want to contest.
You can see Paz is dropping. He's dropped 2 top waves already and a plate just so he can be on time for this dragon.
That's the engage. Archer's forced to flash. He gets away with his life for now. Enchanted Crystal Arrow was dropped, and now PSG in full retreat. Raina looking for the Zenith Blade and the Shield of Daybreak, and that's the flash cleanse from Unified. Teleport advantage for PSG means they've got the numbers for now. This is a 5-on-3. Another Zenith Blade re-engage. Here comes the Hero's entrance. Massive slam. Hero's Justice Punch backwards as now Ace is running for his life. The Winter Ward simply didn't do enough. There's not enough damage. There's not enough follow-up. Here comes Paz. 1, 2. Ruthless Predator looking for a third. Won't just find it. Now Paz is in the retreat. Once again, the winds are spat out, but the scatter, the weak will kill the meek. Ace runs for his life, and that's a knock up into the air for Archer. He's in trouble. The volley, as well as the Ranger's focus. He gets another. 1, 2, 3 for 4 in a crazy fight in the bottom lane.
It's a 3 for 4 for the side of PSG. They had to invest double TP, and you could see Paz was dropping top waves to make sure he came in time, and he just got in the back end of the fight, flashed into the backline, managed to pick up 2 himself. And Trevor, that was a crazy fight.
This is, it's ridiculous, but it ends up being a 3,000 gold lead for PSG. During the course of that fight, I found out from the production team that it was a solo killer game. Uniboy taking out Ace onto Galio. That is what put him inside the fountain. He was able to run down and use that hero's entrance from the jungle in just a moment.
You can see Kaiwing tries to catch out Arch there. He does react in time with the flash, but then Raina once more. He knows Ace is in range. I think Ace is communicating here. I have Galio, just make sure you get in the backline. So the double TP comes in. It looks like they're backing off, but then Raina instantly turns, gets into the backline onto Unified. The Galio comes out. It lands on almost 3 people. They get so much damage in the backline. The Q follow-up. But look at Hanabi in the backline. He's tanking so much, CCing them up. Basically 3v1ing them in the backline, but then Paz comes in as well, does the same thing, goes 1v4, takes out 2 himself, and then it's just a 3v3 from here onwards. I mean, Paz, he does get Syndra ulted, does get taken down, and Ace with that E just about dodges the
You can feel the lack of damage and the lack of itemization there from Ace. He jumped into the fight, and the Winds of War did absolutely nothing. There was such a small amount of chip damage, and without Paz being there early on, it just meant V3 were in too big of a deficit. So that's the flash engage. Zenith Blade as well, followed by Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ace gets knocked by Scatter by the weak. Then he chucks up the Winds of War. Archer manages to survive the high skill check press off from Uniboy. V3 get the dive, they get the kill. Blast cone over the wall from Bugi, but now he's in trouble from Hanabi. He's caught out, knocked out, got Call of Forge, got available, gets a heal thanks to Kingslayer. Here comes Raina holding on to the Zenith Blade. 15 kills, 16 minutes, and these teams aren't done yet.
Yeah, V3's bot lane definitely stepping up here. They instantly pulled the trigger on Uniboy when he stepped up from mid-wave there. He had no flash, gets punished, and V3, although they did get the kill, they're not going to be able to get the Herald. It seems PSG have way too much tempo on the map. Unified and Kaiwing have come up, they've denied the Herald, and they're going to start it themselves. They should pick this up, and I'm expecting this tower to be used for tier 2s. This Herald to be used for tier 2, sorry.
As we step out of this Herald pickup, 3-1-2, Kongyue on his Kindred, 3-1-4.
Is he going Infinity Edge?
For Uniboy. And if Kongyue is going I-Edge on this Kindred, tell me what you think of the build, Kadril.
Well, that's a new one. He's definitely going crit build. I'm expecting something like an IE, a Rapid Fire, or a Renans. He's going full crit. I mean, you don't have a crit Senna, so why not be the crit yourself? I mean, respect. I mean, I was expecting something like a Black Cleaver, perhaps, but he has got double AP solo laners. The Senna will pick crit up eventually through our passive, so he's just going max damage. He's going full Glass Cannon. Yep, it's definitely an IE.
Unbelievable. Infinity Edge Kindred, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. But Kongyue,
I mean, they don't have much base armor, so it kind of makes sense. I like it.
Okay, so theory crafting, then what will be the cost here? I mean, if he uses the Lamb's Respite well, that can buy some time, and we've seen from these team fights, like, they are drawn out. There's a lot of people involved, and Hanabi will respect the potential dive. He's a level down to Paz. He will lose his tower. This is the first tower secured for V3. But we've seen again how these fights have played out. V3 down 2k gold, and whatever Ornn items which will be coming in soon, it will begin to balloon just how much of an advantage PSG has.
Yeah, and V3 was able to do that play just because of the mid push. They have Archer, they have Raina in mid, and I think PSG's lane assignment isn't the best. They have Uniboy in mid, but he has no flash, so he can get caught out by an engage, but it does look like he's shifting into bot here. It looks like they're going to use the Herald for the tier 1 bot, but I'd like to see Unified and Kaiwing go into mid. Try and contest the push from Archer, make sure they can't do these side lane plays, but PSG, good response. They do trade towers.
All right, trading towers means that PSG maintain the lead, maintain the advantage, maintain control. How do V3 bring themselves back into this game, Kedril? We've seen from the scrappy picks, we've seen they have the ability to blow someone up, but the follow-up from PSG has also been there to stop them as they continue to push.
Well, looks like they're going for a 1-3-1 setup here with Paz and Ace. PSG do have double TP coming up soon as well, so they can respond quite well over side lane plays, but I'd like to see V3 try and get the mid push, maybe punish any step-ups from Unified or Uniboy if they're catching the mid waves, try and punish them by getting their cleanses or their flashes and then re-engage on them with the second use of the ults. Or Ace can look to push out these bot waves, run with Paz towards topside and try and get Hanabi.
As we're nearly 20 minutes in, this Predator Galio, if you were to give it a scorecard, if you were to review it, not worth?
0.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I really applaud the concept or the idea, but then when you get bullied so hard and you get beaten up in the minute, and again, all credit, Kongyue ganked multiple times, right? It's not like Ace just got completely dumpstered alone. There was multiple repeated attempts from PSG onto his lane.
I can see the idea of the Predator, making sure he can move the sides faster. It definitely makes sense. There are a few other options, perhaps like a Spellbook or an Aftershock if you're into a melee matchup, but looking at the game state now, PSG have 2 dragons. It's going to be a Mountain Soul, and they have an Ornn on their team, so that's definitely going to make him a raid boss if they do get this Mountain Soul, but Hanabi pushing the top wave is moving down. Ace is going to do the opposite. He's going to push in the bot wave and move up, so it's going to be a contested mid wave here. If PSG can get it in, then they're going to have the setup, which they do. So now V3 has to look to face check somehow.
10 seconds for that dragon. Hanabi waiting. His teleport available. Call the Forge God available. Paz will get himself rooted down. Paz picked up that Black Cleaver just a couple moments ago, and there is a potential pincer move here.
Don't think V3 can start it. They're a bit split up. Ace has the ult to rejoin, but they need to look for an engage.
They're down 3,000 gold. That looks like the engage coming out. Solar Flare will connect with one hero's entrance into no man's land. As the volley goes back with flash away from Archer, and the Dawning Shadow is fired on both sides as Bugi was able to steal that one. Mountain Drake is started, and Hanabi will go in for the knockup once again. Volley and ranged poke being fired out from V3. They're sticking onto the dragon, and this may not be the best call.
Yeah, V3 has no ultimates. They blew all the ultimates to disengage or try and get a pick, but the pushback from Uniboy was great. They still have 2 ultimates themselves. They have the Lamb's Respite, they have the Syndra ult, so I'm definitely favoring PSG's position here.
This is very, very scary. Hex Flash over the wall coming up from Raina. That's already a kill into Paz, the most fed member of V3. They're trying to chase forward through the Lamb's Respite, but the heal's going to get every single person and the dragon. Defensive flashes from PSG, and over the wall they continue to hammer down. Raina gets taken out, and Kaiwing once again re-engages. V3 trying to make the last-ditch effort as it's a double kill for Kongyue. Make that another for Hanabi, the ace for PSG.
That's a 5-0 for PSG. They can move towards the Baron. I think V3 just used way too many ultimates in the first side of the engage, but when it came to the stare down on the Dragon, V3 didn't have any go buttons. I mean, Raina dived on the backline, but they're all stacked up on the Dragon. The Lamb's Respite just bought way too much time, and then PSG re-engage onto the Dragon Pit. TP's coming in. I think that's a Baron and a 3rd Dragon for the side of PSG.
PSG are poised to win the group. I will say that again. PSG are poised to win the group. If they close this game out, they either outright win the group if LGD take down UOL, or they face UOL for a first, second tiebreaker game if UOL beat LGD.
Who would have thought? And then
with substitutes.
That is crazy. Looking at this fight, Paz gets popped instantly. Archer is free hitting really nicely, and you think here, well, with the Lamb's Respite coming off, Archer can just free hit on the backline. But you look at Uniboy, hits 2 Qs. He's going to hit the stun as well. Picks up Unified there, and Archer, sorry. And then the fight's just kind of so scattered. Hanabi doesn't die from all the spells they blow on him. He lives on kind of 1 HP. Kaiwing escapes as well. Unified's also really low, and I just think that Lamb's Respite bought just way too much time. V3 had no ults to respond. They didn't have any re-engage stuns. They didn't have any targets they could select, and it just looked a bit too messy.
Absolutely love the Flash Wolves ping there on the emote. Just reminding everyone of history long by. I mean, Kongyue and Uniboy, of course, they come from AHQ. They were substitutes. And frankly, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, these two individual players, stronger than the starters for PSG.
Oh, yeah.
And the performance that we've seen in groups, it will be a very interesting challenge and perspective to see how the groups play out, because those guys won't be able to play. And just so you know, Infinity Edge completed by Kongyue and upgraded by Ornn to the Molten Edge.
Yeah, if PSG do make it out of this, then I think River and Tankerine step up. Kongyue and Uniboy are playing so well this game, through mid and everything, and they're in a 4-1 setup here. Uniboy has TP, they're looking for a flank, the Ashe arrow does come down.
All right, here comes Ace. Hero's entrance is available. There's the Call of the Forge. Got a lot of damage being put down, but V3 inside the Lamb's Wrist, but will buy some time. They get themselves the kill onto Unified. Now they turn their attention to Hanabi, who's still mostly untouched. Kaiwing looking for an engage as Raina now get taken out on the backside. Paz running for his life, and so is the rest of V3. Remember, they started the engage. Great damage onto Kongyue, but he's blown up by the Dark Sphere. Uniboy finds his 6th,
Triple.
finds his 7th. That's the 8th. Now turning his attention to Bugi as well as Paz. Can he find himself the pentakill? It's not going to be the easiest as he's got to chase down Bugi. And just get a small heal. There's the engage, the dash away. Continues the chase, and Paz will be able to complete the recall. So the pentakill's not on the cards, but the quadra kill will be in just a moment or two. Hijack available. And finally, Bugi goes down. It's Kongyue that steals it. What a scumbag denying the corner.
Wow, I mean, Uniboy and Kongyue are playing so good this game, especially in the fights. You could see PSG had a 4-1 setup there. Uniboy in towards the bot side, pushing in, waiting for his team to rotate down. But V3 just pulled the trigger. The Ashe arrow came in, and it looked like they kind of had the fight. I mean, the TP did come in from Ace from behind. They had a really good place to fight. They had really good area on the blue side, but I just felt like there wasn't enough. I mean, Uniboy popped Archer. He was killing everyone. Triple kill, almost a quadra kill.
Yeah, definitely. Looked like it should have been a quadra kill.
Yeah.
And PSG, the 2nd seed from the PCS, now have all the tools they need to close this game out. For V3, champions from the LGL from Japan. And China Crystal Arrow, let's see if he finds his man. No flash available for Uniboy. It wasn't two-man stacked. It was too risky chasing into the dark.
Yeah.
For V3, this could be the last game, depending on the results of our next match, and I'll get to that in a moment or two.
The Ashe arrow comes out, the Ornn from the side of Bugi there. Looks like they put out Kongyue, but he QSS as he pops the Lamb Respite again, and look at Ace on the backline. He tries to pick up Unified himself, but Unified runs around, buys loads of time. Uniboy comes in, and now Unified's dead. You think, well, maybe V3 can win this game. But look at Hanabi, dude. He's just sitting there 1v4, taking all the damage he wants, and Archer's really low. He's kind of out the fight. He can't really hit anyone. He tries to turn it a little bit with Ace here, but Uniboy comes around the corner, gets 1, gets 2. And then he chases down the 4th.
It was so good. I actually missed on my first call. That was Scatter the Weak over the wall to tag Archer's Ashe and take him out. 9,000 gold. I mean,
Dragon Soul in 40 seconds.
Dude, if you are Unicorns of Love, even if you take down LGD, you then have a tiebreaker game with PSG. And that is an unenviable task, seeing how this game is playing out and the confidence that PSG are playing with.
Yeah, definitely loads of confidence, especially from their mid jungle. I mean, look at Kongyue, he's 2 levels up, 3 items Kindred. Man, he does so much damage right now.
Rapid fire cannon, high edge.
Yeah, it's a stopwatch as well to buy some time. Mikhail's for the stuns from the Ashe Leona, and the Dragon Soul is spawning, so V3 kind of needs to pull the trigger because I don't think they're going to be able to contest by Vision.
No, it doesn't feel that way. V3 have shown a willingness to fight. Mountain Drake is spawning 8 seconds. You can see Vision superiority for PSG as Kongyue is going to step forward. Lamb's Respite is available to him. And the flash engage from Kaiwing. He finds himself to call the Forge God. Helps set up the assassination onto Bugi. Raina will fall next. Ace running for his life. And this should allow PSG to turn towards V3's base. That should just be it.
I'm not sure if they can end. They can try, definitely. There's going to be 25 seconds on Raina and Bugi. Paz is going to be ace, and he has Archer to help him out there. So I think an Inhib and a Dragon is a safe option. They could go for the end. They still have the Syndra ult on the side of Uniboy, so if anyone steps forward, they can get popped. But Kongyue flashes in.
Look at that engage. Flash chase forward. Still got the ultimate available. That's tower diving past the inhibitor.
It's over.
Archer's down. Paz follows. And the sad B for V3 as PSG will pick up their 3rd win. They are moments, milliseconds. They are so close to advancing to groups, and right now it just means taking out the final Nexus. Lamb's Respite comes out from Bugi as well as from Kongyue. Bugi goes golden for a couple seconds longer, and the 5-man stack of PSG continue the pressure. Now they turn their attention to Ace and to Raina. 30 seconds left before Paz. Correction, Bugi spawns. Paz up in 10. Archer up in 7. The dive is taking longer than expected. 2-man knockup. Raina's going to drop, and so does Ace for the ace. Nexus turret will fall. Nexus will be the focus. And PSG, the PCS's 2nd seed, take down V3.
And look at the mid jungle of PSG, 10-1, 9-1. These are the substitutes, Trevor.
Unbelievable. By the way, the win moment flares, everybody flashing LGD. If LGD win against UOL in our next game, PSG top the group and guarantee them spots in the main group stage.
Who would have thought? PSG.
Nobody.
Almost, they're on the cusp of finishing first in their group, going straight through the group stage. This substitute mid-jungle, man, I've spoken about them a lot, but man, they are playing so good. From the Echo set to now the Syndra Kindred to the Graves Orianna, they're so flexible, they're playing so well around the map. They identified the win condition so well, play to mid, and that's exactly what they did. Ace didn't have any impact in this game.
River and Tank are going to have very big shoes to fill, because now the 5-way tie is officially dead. We only have 2 scenarios remaining. If UOL defeat LGD, we will have 2 tiebreaker games. UOL versus PSG for first, second seed, and V3 versus LGD for 4th, 5th seed. If, however, LGD win, then we will have 0 tiebreaker games. But either way, the